I recall years ago as an undergraduate student, I had started off really shaky, away from home, like most kids do when they go to college and they're in the dorms and you're hundreds, maybe even thousands of miles away from home, experiencing freedom to a degree that maybe you never have. You're going to do what young people with newfound freedom do. You're going to experiment with a lot of things. You're going to get involved with a lot of different things, different people, and your grades may suffer. So much so that your parents might receive a notice stating that their child has been placed on academic probation. When my parents received that notice concerning me, my mother called me, and I immediately recognized the fact that she was crying, had been crying, and was crying at that moment. That bothered me instantaneously because my mother was never one to really cry. At that time in my life, I was probably maybe somewhere between 19 and 20, probably 20. And I had only known her to cry maybe at most 3, 4 times in my life. That's it. Where I either physically saw her crying or from that where I audibly heard her crying. Only 3 to 4 times in my life. So the fact that she was calling me crying, that hit me in a way that normally would not. So she let me know the purpose of her call. And after she got through with the purpose of the call, explaining to me that she and my dad had received the notice and all of that stuff, she did not take that opportunity to beat me up. What she did say, as a concluding statement, stayed with me from that point in my life until this one. And as of today, I am 52 years old, but I still hear what she said. She told me, don't worry about disappointing your dad and me. Just don't disappoint yourself. Now, that may not seem deep to anybody but me. It was quite deep because I started thinking about it then, and over the course of years, I've thought about it even more deeply each time. In order to disappoint oneself, the individual must have created some sort of false imagery, some sort of false narrative, some sort of false persona concerning him or herself. In other words, you created a lie to yourself about yourself, concerning yourself, and you believed your lie. Only for one day reality hits. And then you realize that you had been living a lie concerning yourself, about yourself, that now you've got to face yourself because yourself is a liar. Don't disappoint yourself. Be honest about who you are. Be honest about where you are. Be honest about how you are to do things, how you are to think about things and regard things, how you are to move. Don't create false expectations concerning yourself because you have lied to yourself. You have created some sort of false image regarding yourself. That's what my mother's statement taught me. Don't prove yourself to be a liar. Because if you can't trust yourself, then who can you trust? Who can trust you even? Don't prove yourself to be a liar. So we have to be honest with ourselves, even our expectations, our goals, our walk with Yahuwah, the Most High. We have to be honest with ourselves. And sometimes that honesty requires a revamping of plans. Maybe even letting go of some plans that we had developed ourselves. We developed them ourselves. If we're honest with ourselves, we won't even be developing plans. Isn't there scripture that talks about how man might plan, but it's really what the Most High mandates, what the Most High dictates that's going to happen. And that's why I believe Yahushua, when he was facing the cross, said, nevertheless, not my will, not my plan, not my idea, not my goal, but thine be done. Don't disappoint yourself. So if you've got to cut away some things, if you've got to cut away some people, if you've got to look at life differently, do some things differently, move differently, as the young folks say, then do it. Make it happen. Don't disappoint yourself. Because as I close, last thing, there are others who are counting on us. So if we end up proving to be a liar to ourselves because we've lied to ourselves about ourselves, concerning ourselves, then we end up being a liar to everyone else. Those who are counting on our persona, on our spirits, are now let down and left hanging because we gave them a facade. We gave them the representative that represented a false narrative about who we really are. Don't disappoint yourself.